Hello, I'm Arman Khodaei. I'm a 26-year-old individual on the autism spectrum. The teenage years can be the scariest time period for a parent. And for an autistic person, the teenage years can be some of the most challenging years. I know, I've been through them. I'm going to give some advice and tips for parents and give some examples from my life, and I'll also give some advice and tips for other teenagers. So, I'm going to first begin off with a little story. Starting in middle school, going into high school, my mom became increasingly worried I was becoming an adult. After high school, who knew what would happen? And I wasn't socializing, or if I did socialize, people would go up and say hi to me, and I just walk away and not say anything in return to them. Or I would talk about inappropriate subject matters, like I'd say, oh, the aliens are going to come, because I believed in aliens, and then people would get all worried or something like that. Or I would talk about Star Wars nonstop, and various social things and other whatnots, and just the fact that my mom felt I was out of touch with reality, didn't understand the concept of money, didn't understand people, yada yada yada. She was very, very worried for my future. And then, of course, I got violent at times. I had my arguments, I had my tantrums. Not as much as a child, but, I would say things, I'd make my mom cry. And so those are very rough years. As a parent, your child, you might not see eye to eye with your autistic child, or a child who has Asperger's syndrome, or whatever the case may be. And you're now worried about their future. How is my child going to succeed as an adult? How is my child going to go and survive out in the real world? And that is a very good question. As a teen, I did not care. I wasn't really thinking about that. Well, I already made up my mind. I was like, I'm going to become a writer. I think that I know of some autistic people who have made up their mind about what they want to do, or we just don't care. We think that the world will always stay the same, and that's the way we anticipate it. At least from asking a lot of people, and sometimes it doesn't change. A lot of people in my groups are still living with their parents. I still live with my dad, even though I do want independence someday, like soon, preferably like today. But anyway, that isn't happening. So, as a teen, you're afraid of your emotions. I was afraid of my emotions. I was afraid of admitting that I liked girls because I was afraid I'd get made fun of, or my mom would disown me, or that it was wrong. I got frustrated at my mom, who didn't understand me, who was pushing me to try to be social. I hated it. I didn't want to be social. I just wanted to be in my world with my Star Wars toys and thinking about Star Wars all day. And I was like, when I become 80, I'm going to still have my Star Wars collection. My life is going to be Star Wars. I'm going to write Star Wars movies. I'm going to take over George's mantle and make Star Wars my life. And I'm going to, I'm going to, work on that. So I wasn't aware of what the real world was like. Well, my mom kept on telling me about it, but I said, no, I'm going to make my own real world. That's your real world, I'm going to make my own real world. So, the lesson here, what we're getting at, is that parents and teens do not see eye to eye. Someone like a teacher would have more influence on me, because they're not necessarily as invested. They can see things more clearly. Sometimes I think parents, you see too microscopically. You zone in on the littlest details at times, and sometimes ignore really big details. You might zone on one social aspect, but then ignore a completely other aspect, where the child is not performing by societal standards. Now, for an autistic person, the thing is that we have our own mindset as to how the world should work. And that's fine, that's cool, I like that. I had my own mindset, I think it's a great idea. But it's also important to take into consideration other people's viewpoints. I have a hard time seeing other viewpoints. I'm getting better. I have a hard time seeing how everything works out, and it's annoying and confusing, but I'm here today and I think I have a pretty good idea now. And the truth is that there is no real rule. There is no normal, or this is the way it should be. Everybody, you know, you got Republicans, you got Democrats, you got introverts, extroverts. There's always two sides of the same coin. The truth, but when it all comes down to, is that we're all human in the end, and we need to respect everyone. But that's, well, it kind of does relate to. So what I'm getting at here is, if you're an autistic teen, try to see from as many perspectives as possible. Try to understand your classmates. Try to understand your parents. If you're a parent, try to understand your teen. Give them some space. For me, my mom, you know, she was so worried about me that she even wanted me to go out and party and get drunk, and like when I was 16. I was like, "Are you insane, Mom? You want me to get party?" She's like, "Well, you're not normal. If you got party and got drunk, I'd be so happy, because you would have friends, for crying out loud. You don't do any social things." So, okay, let's get to the advice portion. I told you the story of my life, my mom, the conflict, all that great, awesome stuff. That is the stuff of legend. But if you're a parent, what will help? If you're a teen, what will help? Okay, parents. Like I said, give the space, and don't try to be so controlling. At the same time, try to subtly guide your child to success. Point out their heroes. Find, you know, research their heroes. Show them where their heroes had to push themselves outside their comfort zones. You know, and try to work on their goals. If your child has a goal of becoming a writer, a director, working at Honda, working for Coca-Cola, whatever their dream job is, making Pokemon TV episodes, I do not know. But start to say, okay, to get where you want to have, you're gonna have to have some skills. You want to be a writer, you might not. You're gonna have to interact with people. You're gonna have to do book signings. If you're gonna be working on Pokemon, you're gonna have to meet people. You're gonna have to have meetings. You're gonna have to be part of a team. You're gonna have to develop these social skills, and say, this isn't about what I want. This is about what you want. Now, that's what you have to tell the team, which is true. Say, this is about what you want. I want you to be as successful as possible. And if this is your dream, you're going to have to work on it and make it happen. And this is one component that makes your dream a reality. At the same time, though, really try to see from your child's perspective. You know, don't just say that because you want your child to change. Say it because you want your child to be a success. And because you want your child to do what will make them happy. I think my mom was very worried, you know, about the whole Star Wars aspect, you know, because she's, you know, it's unrealistic to want to be part of that. Or maybe you think your child wants to make Pokemon episodes, and that's unrealistic because you're like, you have to go to Japan, learn Japanese. I say, promote that. I say, get them to learn Japanese. If they're doing what they want to do, they might meet some you know, they might meet some people who speak Japanese. They might become friends with them. They might travel the world. You do not know what will come out of it. Maybe they won't work on their Pokemon show, but it can get them outside their shell. So promote their dreams, because those dreams grow. If you shut down our dreams and try to get us to fit in your mold of the real world, we will not function. I will not function. I know that when my mom tried to make me, you know, when she tried to put down my dreams, I was more hesitant to try to push myself outside my comfort zone. I'm like, well, why should I try to learn these skills if I cannot achieve my dreams? You see what I'm saying here? So you have to give a motivation. Maybe you think the goal is unrealistic. You think your child's in a fantasy land. Fine, but you have to have some leeway. You have to pick your battles. You have to decide, what do you want your child to work on the most? Do I want my child to start developing friendships? Do I want my child to start developing good social skills? Or do I want my child to get realistic about the world? And if you want your child to get realistic about the world, they're going to shut down probably. At least that's my theory. So I hope you see what I'm saying there. Okay. So give space. Really be passionate about your child. Really, you know, believe in your child. As hard as that can be, because we don't want to see your child to fail. You know, you don't want to see your child to fail. I don't have any children, but you don't want to see your child to fail. That's reasonable, but you have to take a leap of faith. you know, when you aim for the stars, you might land in the moon, or I don't know how this saying goes, but you see what I'm saying? But if you aim for 5 feet away, you're gonna get 5 feet away. If you aim for 100 feet, you might get 60 feet. You see what I'm saying there? Would you rather go 60 feet or 5 feet? Yeah, you might not make it all the way, but at least you got somewhere. Okay. So, this is a very big, long topic. I'm going to make this video short, at least short as possible. This is definitely something that could be like a multi-video series. I want to talk about the teens now. Okay, the one thing that you need to do, the one thing that will help is to, I know I was very shut. I was so closed off. I was so afraid to express myself. Work on expressing yourself, whether that's through drawing or painting. You know, do things that are hard, like trying to social dance, trying to do a school play, trying to go up to people and talk to them. Those are so hard. Really, 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 really hard. For me, I could not do those things. It was almost impossible. I mean, I am not kidding you how hard that was for me to do. But I encourage you to do it, even though it's so hard. You're going to be met with failure along the way. You might get bullied. You might want to give up. But I say keep going, because that's how you're going to realize your dreams and potential someday. You can't let the people around you tear you down. And being bullied, that's a very big thing that you're going to encounter in middle school, high school. A lot of people are insecure with themselves. They're trying to understand themselves. They're afraid, so they will make fun of you because they don't understand you. They don't understand themselves. They're stupid. That's all there is to it. And you have to be stronger and better than them. Don't fight back with them. Just prove them wrong. And really, the ultimate thing is to really, you know, be yourself, but at the same time try to be considerate of other people too. I know that's hard. I didn't want to be considerate of other people, but if you're considerate of other people, they'll like you more, and that'll open up doors. Okay, so this is the first video on teen aspects of autism. If you have any questions, something that you want me to cover about the teen aspect, teenage years of autism, please ask. If you have any other questions, please ask. Please share my videos. I thank you for watching, and I wish you an awesome day of awesomeness. Take care.